Hi guys, welcome to Eagle Jones Gaming page. We are going to do Call of the Sea walkthrough chapter 3. So this might be a little bit more of a complex chapter since you might not know where immediately to go, because if you come to this area there's a lot that happens. What I did in the beginning is I did not go to the ship in the beginning. I went immediately to the tents, which made it really difficult for me, because what you need to do is you need to come to the ship and actually put on power. You'll see here there's a lever here. If you pull it, you'll say there's no power. You need power in this whole section. So what you do is you come to the ship, you go to this ladder, you run up to it, and let's go.
This place gives me the creeps.
So you see, once you're up on the left side, there will be a power section which you need to do. Basically, all that you need to do is switch this power box on in order to give this whole section power, and then pull the leaves. Alright, so you can sit here, mingle mangle, see which ones work, but the right order should be you go to the third one, second one, fourth one, and number one. It's really simple. I believe you all would have figured it out. And then you just come here and pull the lever to give this little section power. You then run to this cable. You see there's a cable right here, and then you give power to the ship. We'll go later onto that side, but first we're going to go to the left side to figure out a little puzzle that is right here.
Harry?
I'm just going to turn off this radio because it's a bit intense and a bit loud. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is you need to sort out this little puzzle right here. Alright, once you come to this area right here, you need to put on the power, which will then lift the black ooze blocks to the air, the floating black ooze. So basically you can switch them all around. They're gonna move, but it's not gonna be the right order. This isn't even the right order, because if you come to your right, it switches it down. So the right order to do it is you have to turn it all down all the way to 0. So you start from your left side, you go 4 ticks. Sorry, it's a little bit hard on the mouse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you take it all the way to that area. So which was really confusing for me in the beginning is if you do the first one, it does not show, like you've seen, that it has ticked off. But once you do the second part, the first one ticks off, and then but the second and the third doesn't tick off. But once you do the last piece, all of them tick off. So it can be really intense. You just have to play around until all 4 of them are ticked off. But the solution basically is take them all to 0, where the indication of the arrow is, and then you do 4 ticks for the first one, 4 ticks for the second one, and then the last one you just take all the way until you get to the last tick, which I suppose is also going to be 4. It seems like it's 4. Right, so it's not really to interact with this area, but if you want, you can just interact with this area. You're not gonna really, it's just a little bit more detail into it. There's a little bit of a logbook here, just to find out a little bit detail about the ship. But none of these here is really too much important. You don't really need to interact with them. But obviously, if you're doing the game for the first time or the second time, you like to know all the details and all the little stuff, so you can get the story based in it. Alright, that's all you could have done here. So now we have that little clue right there that will be needed a little bit later on. So then you run all the way down here, go down by the ladder. There's gonna be a little recorder tape hidden in this area. I'll show you directly where to go for it. You can get a little bit of an achievement right here, but if you don't know about it, you will miss it because it's really hidden. in this little small area right here. So what you do is you come here, you go to your right, which is very, very dark, and there's a little interaction right there. You can listen to that. It's just going to give you a little bit of a dialogue right here. Pressing on it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to just go ahead because we already seen this. You come right here, you give this section power, which will give the whole area power. The most important part to come right here, because there's a lot of clues here, is go to the right of this tent, and these are the most important parts to interact with.
He's repairing my old music box. Attack? What attack? What happened on this ship? Photographic film. Sweet Jesus, those screams. And what I believe Harry visited this exposition when he was looking for answers for my illness.
I have missed this because I've done this in the dark, so I've missed this pictures up here. I didn't look up, but you can just look up in this section right here. These are very, very important to interact with.
They do not look human. This picture is
Just remember, guys, each thing that you interact with basically goes into your log, which you will write down information, and it might be needed at certain points, which this one will be. So there's a section you can listen here to as well. That's all really needed. You'll see there's a little bit hidden notes right here. Not too much needed to interact with this. And then this is where I said in chapter 1, if you wanted to, you'll have a little bit more of understanding, like why did he bring those with him. You can interact here as well with a picture here. How many people are left on the crew, which is a bit shocking. Right, there's a very much important part right here. You can interact here with some of the stuff here. There's a little bit of a can here, which is a missing achievement, which you can get, which is really nice. So if you want a missing achievement, there you go. You just have to come here, switch on the power right here to give power to the back, which we will come to a bit later. We don't need to come there yet. We will be there after a while.
These two fellows seem to get along pretty well.
These are parts that's not really needed to interact with, but you can.
Whoever you are. Looks like Frank wanted to leave, but I don't know if Harry ever read this letter.
Just showing you all the parts you can interact with if you do feel you missed anything. These are the parts you can interact with.
All kinds of substances. Oh dear, this dock was a certifiable loon.
Right, you can interact here as well.
It hasn't been worn in a long time. A handkerchief with the letters EDW embroidered.
Right. So after this, we're not going to go to that section yet. We're just going to come up here because we need a clue about the height level tide, which we will find this way. But before we go up there, we can come here to the left. This is a very important part. You have to interact with all of the stuff right here. It's really, really important to interact with these here.
And that diamond shape again. You made it work, Harry. Now it's my turn. So this is the reason the ship was scavenged. What kind of machine were you building? Blowtorch.
These isn't very important. You can I'm just showing you all what you can interact with and cannot.
Harry isn't usually very chummy, but he really seems to like Frank.
Alright, so we have done interaction here. So what we do is we come all the way up here to find the height of the tide, which is a clue we need for the other area we haven't gone into yet.
Engineering. I've been interested in knowing how things work since I was a child, but I always thought technology wasn't for me. What nonsense.
Right, you can come here to the right. It's not really needed. It's just to show you that there's a gate here
That huge stone door looks like an exit.
that we need to go into. But obviously it's locked, so we need to solve a puzzle to open it up.
This
like
ornate
always.
structure certainly isn't natural, but not man-made either.
Alright, once you come here, I'm just quickly going to show you immediately where you
This
have to
feels
go.
ominous.
You don't have to sit here, get stuck trying to figure out clues. There's no clues to solve here yet. So we're going to go all the way down here. We're only here to get the height of the tide, and then we go back.
Those symbols seem to indicate the height of the tide.
It's not needed to roam around here and try to see if you can figure out stuff, because there's nothing to figure out here yet.
I'm quite scared of storms. When I was a child, I used to cover myself with the sheets to not listen to the noise of thunder. I honestly doubt I'd like to cover myself with anything in here. Time to overcome my fears, I guess.
You can come here to the right. There's a little bit of a picture right here that is hidden. Just shows you a little bit something, which I feel is really cool. A little hidden picture right here, which is a bit weird because I mean it looks like a ghost. We don't know. Right, now we're gonna go back to the area we haven't been to, the tent we haven't been into yet. Let's make our way to that area. So we have interacted with everything right here. This is the area we haven't been into yet. So if you come here, you can run up here to the stairs. There's a very important little picture you can interact there with, a sculpture.
It's curious, but it's the first time since I got sick that I feel useful. Harry is depending on me, and not the other way around.
Just press on it and let's go down
Doesn't
again.
look like a building, though.
It's not needed to go to that side. There's nothing there. You can't interact with anything right there. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to. Alright, so there's a little projector right here. So we just found out the sea level that is needed for the tide. So once we come here,
I hope you didn't
we switch it
borrow
on.
this slide projector
It is
from the
on.
University of Denver.
And then we just press the side buttons until we figure out the picture that is needed for the tide level. So it's right there,
I think this is the
which
right
is this one. So to put it in basic order for you, that's the tide level, this is the tide level, this is where we need it to be. So then we just interact here and we get a little bit of a scribble right there. Which is really important in this area is when you do the piano, you have to open up this box to get the original clue,
These symbols.
which will be written down right here for you where it's supposed to be. So once you come to the piano, this is the clues where it has to be. But once you have done the projected puzzle, you will see that this is not the correct order. It needs to be here. So basically you're going to go 1 is actually supposed to be 2. So we're going to press on that little button here. Then after that, 2 will become that symbol, which is that symbol right there. After that, 3, which is right there, is supposed to be this symbol, which is right here. Then you go 4, which is that symbol, is supposed to be 1. After that, you're going to go, this symbol is right here, but it's supposed to be 3, which is right there. Same with this one, that symbol is right there, but it's supposed to be this symbol right here. That's last symbol right there, it's supposed to be this symbol, which is right here. So this is basically the order it needs to be in. So once you're done here, there's a little bit of achievement that you can do right here. So you just come onto this, you go all the way right, all the way, and then you get a little bit of an achievement there if you guys wanted to. Right, so let's interact with every little single thing in this room, which is very, very important to interact with to get the clues we've already interacted with. Those. Come here.
You
We
always
interact
did
with
have a
these.
good ear, Harry. How can someone build something like this out of...
Right, now this little note right here, the calendar, is really, really important. This is the lunar cycle clue. This is a very important note to have. Alright, so there's a little bit of a note she wrote down. On the 7th, there's a new moon. And then on the 21st, there's a full moon. So, keep that in mind while we go head all the way back. So basically what we're going to do right now is we're going to do the whole last puzzle that we need to solve on the mountain right there on the top. Once you come up here, you'll have to interact with this little stone right here, which will be like this. Now we need to solve this puzzle. This is not the correct puzzle. So what we figured out, right, this is a little bit more complex, so this is a little bit more intense. So basically I will explain this to you afterwards. I'm going to do the puzzle. You guys can follow me as I do it, which symbols needs to show down and which symbols needs to show up. But afterwards I will explain the puzzle to you in a very, very nice way. Right, so we come here, we press that one up. This symbol should also be up. This symbol should go down. This symbol also should go down. Go all the way this side to these symbols right here. This one is correct. This one you have to go down. And then the last puzzle you need to go up with. Right, that was the order it needs to be in. The best way I can explain this to you will be right here. Alright. So, the best way to explain this to you, because it's a lot of notes and you might get a little bit confused. So if you take 262, you see 262 is number 1. Number 1 should actually be this symbol right here, which is this symbol right here. So what I did is we filled this whole section up. Then you'll go back to your notes, you'll see there's 349. Alright, 349. It's this little symbol right here. But this little symbol is not that symbol, it's supposed to be the first one, which is right here, so we fill that up completely. And then after that, 415. 415 is this little symbol right there, and that's supposed to be that 2. That's why it's filled up. So to put it in a little bit more better perspective for you, if you take this lever down, you'll see number 2 is gone. It's not fully filled up. Just a little bit of explanation there for you. Take it back up, and that's the order. So this one, and this one should be fully linked, and the other ones should not be linked with the black ooze. And after that, this is not gonna work. Why? Because we have to figure out this little puzzle right here. This puzzle is also a bit complex. This is the puzzle where we have to find out what day it is, because is it a new moon or a full moon? Which one is it? So once you go to your logbook, this is why it's really important to interact with every little single thing we do. We find out it's the 7th day. So that means we have to completely fill it up. So we have to close this little puzzle right here. What you can do is you can just turn it, switch it until you figure out the clue, but this is the basic, this is the solution. You find out the date, which it is supposed to be today, and which days will be the full moon and the new moon. And then after that, you're gonna press this little button and we get a little cool cutscene. It's really amazing. It's beautiful, this cutscene. I remember the first time I played it, it was breathtaking. Alright, so it's gonna make a little bit of a bridge here for us. We're gonna make our way all the way up there. We're gonna press this little button here to go up with the elevator. And then we quickly have to interact with this right here. It's really important to interact. It's a dialogue from Henry.
My dear old pal, I think I'm getting closer to understanding what is happening to you, but it is taking a toll on my sanity. As fascinating as this island and its ancient and unfathomable wonders may seem, it's also a place plagued with misfortune and calamities.
We lost Roy at the campsite. We almost lost our engineer on this beach. The doctor went mad and stabbed him with a strange knife. And all because of this island, Norah. Initially, we were optimistic and in high spirits, but now we've all become resentful and discouraged. Even I can feel how I am constantly assaulted by dark thoughts. Anyway, if what I am going through here helps me find you a cure, it'll have been worth it. I hope to find an answer in the temple on that mountain peak. Love you always, Harry.
Once we're done with that little cutscene right there, you're just gonna press basically any one. I go from left to right, and it's gonna pop up some cool stuff right there, which you'll see right now. Right, this is basically the last chapter of chapter 3. I really hope that these puzzles really helped you guys out. Please guys, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you have not yet, comment in the comment section. Did you find this helpful? Is it interesting for you how we did it, how it needs to be solved? And let me know what other series you guys would like me to do next. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this. I'm not going to show the entire thing. I don't want to spoil everything to you guys. But hope you guys have a lovely day. I will see you guys on chapter 4. Let's go.